Okay. So we're standing here in front of a plant that I wanted to point out to everybody that this is Purple Loosestrife behind us here, Lithorum species. And unfortunately, this is an example of homeowners coming out and planting some plants along here. This plant is actually illegal to buy or sell in the state of Virginia, Maryland, and DC, and most of the east coast of the United States. When I was first getting into the trade, many moons ago, this was a very, very popular landscaping plant, and the industry sold it as being sterile hybrid. And there were sterile hybrids called Morden's Pink and a couple of others. And unfortunately, obviously, they're not sterile. And same thing as the Calorie pear. You hear the industry telling us all the time that Bradford pears are a sterile hybrid. Well, obviously, they're not. And I've heard people say Cleveland Selects are also an improved variety that are sterile. They're not. The best thing to do is to stick with natives. And unfortunately, what happened is this was planted 3 or 4 years ago, and it was originally just this clump. But now if you look around the lake, you can see that it's starting to spread all over the place. And this is why it was illegalized. It's a noxious weed. And it may look really, really beautiful, but it's not. It's an ecological disaster. It's kind of like the Exxon Valdez spilling its oil out into the bay in Alaska. The only difference is that they cleaned up the oil in Alaska, and this unfortunately is getting established and changing the ecosystem along the shoreline here.
It outcompetes natives.
It outcompetes native.
Spread the seeds.
I don't know who spreads the seeds exactly. They might just be windborne. I don't know that it really feeds anything. I've not really seen pollinators pollinate the plants. So again, I see a bee on one over there, so I guess they do. But again, it's not really a good plant for wildlife in any kind of way. It's just pretty to humans, and so humans plant it. And unfortunately, it has bad ramifications when they do. Hence the reason it's illegal.